Okay, guys, we are going to get started. I just want to say hello to everyone. My name is Rachel Feldman, and I was once a health coach in your exact same position. Although back in the day when I started my health coaching business, there was not done for you anything. And part of me made it feel like it was a little simpler in a way, less platforms, less choices for automation. But it was also really tough back then because in order to create a mid five figure, a high six figure business, and this is why I brought out my calculator, I realized pretty soon off as a new coach that it just wasn't going to cut it at $197 a month. And I, like many of you, felt that lack of confidence. I also had not been coaching. I had been working, of course, in the professional world, but that's a little different from coaching. And so pretty fast, the handouts that I got from my school, which I'm so grateful for because trust me, I've taught at places, I've worked with coaches who don't have any kind of materials. That was a great starting place. And with that being said, I realized pretty fast off when I was, no joke, like that. Here, we're going to go session one. And it was some very what I call basic session notes or basic structure. I realized pretty fast that my clients were very smart. They were in the know of what was happening in the world in a time of internet, in a time of books and doctors' panels and Dr. Oz and everything that we are fed on the internet. So I felt that lack of confidence. And it wasn't until my client, who I was seeing actually across the street, said, "Oh, I'm going to do this 21-day detox." And it was in a magazine and it was really nicely formatted and all these boxes and suggested meals and shopping lists. And I said to her, "Do you know that's what I do?" I not only went to this school, the school for Institute for Integrative Nutrition, but I also went to all these detox schools because I always looked at health coaching as a way to get my health back in shape. I suffered with a lot of health issues from Clostridia, Lyme, H. pylori, digestive issues, autoimmune, food allergies, histamine reactions, heavy metals, and had passed this on to my children. And that was my big why. I realized there was never this one protocol, this one quick fix. And so it was my discovery to go to these schools and to try to piece together these missing pieces that were in our family. Very similar to many of your whys, whether it was your own health issue or you were inspired by your children or maybe by the own genetic makeup in your life. You didn't just wake up and say, "I love Mind Body Green. It's a great platform. I'm going to become a coach." Many of you catapulted into this business very similar to me. It may not be your own story. It may be your frustration at school lunches not being healthy, that there's no gluten-free options, that soy is just written in every different product. You have to understand that knowing why you got into this is really everything. And the clearer that you become and the clearer that I had to become in that infancy stage when I was struggling to make $13,000 that first year, overwhelmed by session notes, exhausted every night, handing off my young children to my husband, I wanted structure. I wanted a structure for my one-on-one. I wanted somebody to be able to come to me at these different stages and not lose a client. And not just for financial reasons. I actually didn't even start counting what I made because I just felt that it was like bad karma. I wanted it because I knew at every stage for my own health, at stages of even looking within my family, my friends, not everyone was going to be willing to dive all in like I had to. It's not a bad thing, not a good thing. It's their personality. They may have some of the same compounding issues, but think of even your own friends. Because tonight we are going to dive right into how to create your business with low-cost offers in the same exact way I did. And we're also going to even price your business, price your one-on-one, price your do-it-yourself, price your groups. So please, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A box or put them in the comments, but just put your raw comments. I want to make sure that by the end of this webinar, you are armed on understanding how to build a business, because there's many different ways. Doesn't have to be online, doesn't have to be offline. There is a beautiful combination that you will find, just like we all had to navigate our health path. So let me just get back to building my business. I realized that there wasn't this one way to eat. It's not this one way to build a business. And you may be being told that because, trust me, just like I felt in a doctor's office, or I felt even in the many different people who led me on the path, there wasn't just this one thing. I had to learn how to create this intuitive business, this intuitive health blueprint for each of us. And my kids are very different than myself, very different than my husband. Just like your business is going to be different than somebody else's. A funnel that works is a funnel that makes sense for you. And I don't mean that your business is about you. Your business is about taking the very struggles, problems, and pain points and turning them into a product. That's one. Two, you are a problem solver. You are a way shower. You show somebody the way so they save what? The pain, the frustration, the time, the schooling, the research, the having to be on the top of everything and looking for what? Where there is what I call BS and Band-Aids, where there are these quick fixes being sold because they were sold to you, and they are even sold to your children or your grandchildren every time that you watch a cartoon. That same marketing on, here, this is a great cartoon, boom. Here, we're going to show you a McDonald's Happy Meal. No offense, McDonald's, but let's just talk about the truth. It's the same thing we're all fed. Even if you look at a testimonial on my site at yourhealthcoachbiz.com, that worked because that person did what? They showed up. They took the content or the programs or the workshops, and they used that as a platform, so they saved time. They saved time, they saved effort, they saved all that time that you may take creating recipes, programs, content for memberships, courses, and they looked carefully at what programs, content, freebies they could use to get out their message. I will tell you what worked for me. I had many different freebies, and I just discussed this in my membership today. When we make an assumption that somebody is coming to us for X problem, we can't create the full funnel until we understand the main problem. Or if we do create the full funnel, it's because you, that person that buys funnels from me or done for you or any of the programs, knows what steps you want to take. So I want you, even right now, we're going to make this an action webinar. I want you to write down, what is it like for your potential client at stage 1? Is it a detox? Is it a 10-day sugar detox? Is it 21-day clean eating? What's at the base? What's a quick non-committal 7 to 14 day? We're not going to say where to use these. We're just going to start. Write them down. What's the beginning stage? Because we don't just get to maybe eat with intention or mindset makeover, all these end phases. That might be stage 4 for you. That's the ultimate wellness. We get there, but we have to market to what? Each of these different buyer avatars, their committal stage, and also help to take them through what I call the journey. Stage 1 can be your single session on a work with me. It can also be a very non-committal program, self-paced. Stage 2, that's more commitment. We're diving deeper into what? I've detoxed you now, and now we're going to step 2. Write down your step 2 without fear, without overthinking, because it is in your gut instinct that you know what you wanted to teach because you were there, or you're sick and tired of seeing what in the world. And don't just say, I want people to get better mind, body, spirit. I want you to dive deeper. What stages were you at? What did you need to do? What do you really want to teach? Stage 1, if you're looking at freedom from food intolerances or our workshops, SIBO or anything, How does it relate to what you teach? Where does that workshop or that freebie, where are you leaving them? That's why we think about these non-committal. Then for this person who's at that next stage, they're ready to commit to you 2 or 3 months. What's right for that person? What was right for you? Or if you were one of those all-in people, think. Your friends who come to you for whatever issue, because we cover all the niches, but what I really want you to come out of after this webinar, in the second part, is that sometimes we niche ourselves into a corner instead of saying, what problems do I solve? So right now on a piece of paper, you've gotten step 1, you've gotten step 2. Now I want you to write down, what problems do I solve? And don't just say sugar cravings, go deeper. Is it that you believe that you're helping somebody to get in balance by their hormones? Is it ketogenic? Is it, getting off just processed foods? You really want to know who you serve and why. What problems? Because in that moment, you are then so clear about your offerings. You're so clear, like, oh my God, I've totally missed the boat on talking about hormones, yet I'm talking about sugar. Doesn't mean you need to be a hormone coach. Write down these pieces to the puzzle. I'm going to show you exactly what I did in my membership today. If you have these boxes, and then we're going to dive in. Trust me, I've got a full, amazing PowerPoint. If you have these boxes at the top, these are your free offers. Pain point, pain. And it's not just you have estrogen dominance or you're solving the mini problem. This is the entry point, because once they come in, and this is what I want everyone to draw. Once they come in, are they coming to your one-on-one? Or are they coming to 3 stages? What is stage 1, 2, and 3? If they can't afford you, where are they going? The anatomy of a profitable business. Do you have a do-it-yourself over here? That do-it-yourself in one element, a second, third, they can match those, that of which you have on your work with me. Your do-it-yourself, 1, 2, 3. 3 levels, 3 options for different people. Because if you came to really help people here, it's not going to just be, everyone's got to go to my 6 month. We know that. We all know that. But I want you, as I do one little test before we go on to our teaching part, this can, of course, be your groups. Everything doesn't have to be on your site. This is not what builds trust. What builds trust is us showing up every day and connecting the dots, the missing pieces of the puzzle. Thinking, if I had not been the researcher, what would all these squares be? These are all the problems. Too many of our clients come to us and they say things like, I just feel off. How many of you have said that? Raise your hand. Or how many of you have friends that say, can you help? Like, I don't know what's going on. I can't lose weight. And the doctors don't even know, or I don't even know what test to ask. This is our job. When we deviate from this, we get so concerned, like, is this the right launch? Is this the right, work with me? Instead of saying, of course this is the right, because I do believe in this process. I take people through this process and say it with confidence. The programs are here to support you. Our done-for-you content is here to support you. The game changer is when you fully show up and you know exactly what you want to talk about. One last test before we go. I want you to see how you feel when I say things like, yeah, it's really amazing. I listen to everything you talk about. And let me just tell you the things I heard. I heard that you've got these gut issues going on since, you're about 15. And, it really means a lot to you because you want to make these changes. And you watch like your parents, some of your family members experience ABC. I know how hard that is because I know that my leaky gut led to so many different health issues. So I think the best thing for us, because this has been going on so long, is to work together in my 6-month program. This is exactly what you get in month 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, I'm just going pretty fast. How amazing would that feel? Oh, so why don't you tell me the investment? No problem. It is only, of course I would have this done, it's only going to be $1,782. I want you to see how you feel. Just the moment that I said to you. It's only $297 a month, guys. If you went, oh, it's because there wasn't trust. Or maybe you're like a person like me and you're like, I don't even know where it's going to be in 6 months. What about if I say to you, you know what, why don't we start with a 30-day? This is my gut jumpstart. During that time, personally, what I always did is a baseline detox moving to a paleo program. Or I would have a 30-day, which meant we were extending the detox. See how this feels? Hey, so I totally hear, everything you said. I too really felt scared, especially when I birthed my children. And so I can really identify on so many levels. How about we start with a 30-day jumpstart? The investment is only $297. And if we want to continue, we can. We can just keep adding on and building these blocks, because my 6-month program is really this process. And what I'm going to do is teach you these tools so you are armed with every toolbox you need, because I too want you to be an advocate for your health. And it's so hard in a world of eat this, eat that. I don't know what to do to get to there. That's my job. That's why I became a coach. How do you feel? Now let me do another. So I don't know if I'm ready for that. Seems like a lot of money. I have just a lot of health stuff going on, and the bills, and kids are in college, and I'm saving for retirement. But how many of you drop a 1 if you agree? Hands down, somebody goes and easily drops $160 for their haircut and their coloring and all that, maybe on the cheap 97. How many of you know that $297 for somebody can be totally possible? But maybe it's really not. Because when we lost our business and our savings, hands down, I was robbing money from Peter to pay Paul. It was not even feasible. And this is at that moment where I was getting calls from, because I was that last road Susie kind of girl. I always would say, where are all the people who want to add goji berries? They weren't my ideal client. Doesn't mean I couldn't service them, but that wasn't my story. And so as I would hear babies crying and women crying, and I worked with all different ages, my youngest being 2 weeks old to my oldest client being 101. I sat there and I was like, but you can work with me for only 97. I don't have that. Can work with me for only 150. Didn't matter the price. Listen, this person does not have money. Where are they going? How are you working with them? That's the birth of the do-it-yourselves. And I realized if I could get this person for $37, $47, $57 a month, to buy a product, how could that change my life if I sold 10 do-it-yourself? And then would upsell and say, so you see the value. I really want you to get healthy. I am doing a special for you because this is my big mission, and you know my story. I will give you this 60-minute session, which is usually $97 for only $47. I still got to my price. With that being said, I want you to step back, stop thinking just, is this the right plan? Should I be here? Is this Facebook ad working? And start looking at how your business is actually structured if it is a machine. A machine is that you're doing this with soulful love, but you're taking them through a process, through a journey, through the journey, because that person, you only make change. If you agree, drop a 2. You make change when you're dropped to your knees, no matter what. For some of us, there's a very high tolerance, and we don't drop until, boom, we are smacked in the face with a health issue. We all know people like that. For some of us, change was easier. But I guarantee it's not change on the whole circle of what I call well-being. Each one of us have these key components of our life that is out of balance. And guess what? So do our clients. So when I see coaches in my paid groups, free groups, anywhere, other people's groups on Facebook, or I talk to them, which I talk to many, and they say the same thing that I felt. Why aren't people hiring me? What's wrong? What could this? And I say, because you're not marketing them or speaking their language, speaking to them where they need to be on their level. So I want you, as we dive into tonight, to really think of the areas that are out of balance, even in your life. Put yourself in your ideal client's shoes. What stops somebody from getting healthy? It's our life. So it's our job to show somebody how to make it in this really busy world. How do you travel with ease when you have an autoimmune? How do you handle a flare? How do you deal with adrenal issues? How do you work on sugar? For me, I was raw. I was vegetarian. I was macrobiotic. And then I came back to a place in my life where I was like, this is not working. I'm not feeling well. And when my autoimmune went all haywire, the work of Terry Walls, Chris Kressler, everyone on ketogenic, I did do it. One of my acupuncturists was like, Rach, let's try this. But I did it different. I couldn't sit with the calculator. It brought up these dieting, emotional, eating issues that I used to have. And I felt like I was on a diet. I actually led into eating all this food that I wasn't, ever going to eat. So I realized, wow, okay, I'm going to just test my sugars. If I was coaching, that's what I would say. This is keto done very different. This is for women like me who struggle with the following, and you hate deprivation. The more you make sense of whatever you buy, we have brand new programs. We have a 12-month done for you content. Let me even just share before we go into this whole. So those of you who are here can just see what is new, and you know where to navigate, and you don't need to listen to me the whole phone call. So Michelle's actually going to pop in a code right in the comment box. And if you have any questions about our, codes or savings, please reach out to us. You will see right here, we have our brand new winter detox. This is different from our 4-season detox. For any of you who have bought in 2018, just full transparency, we took 2018, 2017 past detoxes, and we put this into a Done For You membership platform. For those of you who are looking for a completely redesigned, brand new, freebies, PowerPoints, everything, you will see this. And also for those of you who are looking to launch a membership or even have Done For You materials online or offline, hands down, this is for you because of everything that you get. You also get Done For You Canva templates, which allows you to personalize this. You also get opt-in freebies and workshops and kickoff and wrap up. Plus, you also get the bonus materials from also our membership, our content where it says the Done For You membership template. There is a lot to look at. Please take your time to look at the sneak peeks. There's a lot of information in our programs. We choose to include almost everything, which is why you find yourself often scrolling down. The brand new winter detox for 2019 in the winter is completely different. This is based on the adrenals, the kidneys. This is about bringing the beauty within and out. And it even talks about, the reason that you need to nourish, because just like summer, for those of you who are believers in seasonal eating, believers in detoxification, clean eating, you know that if you don't nourish the body now, we get constipation, dry skin. Our kidneys feel weakened during that time, which is often why we have these adrenal energy issues, sleep issues.
Not live on Facebook.
Okay, Michelle. And then also, if you have somebody who is like, low back pain, all these different health issues, That is their vital chi. You're not going to have good digestion. You're not going to have good brain power. None of this, because if the liver is toxic, we can say goodbye to blood sugar balance, say goodbye to hormonal balance. And so that's why this program, brand fresh new, please take a look. The Rockstar comes with done for you Facebook ads, and these are actually on the Canva template, the exact format that I use myself. So same thing, take a look at what is included, take a look at what works for you. And that also brings us, of course, to look at the content where we have the done for you 12-month membership package. So I'm just going through a few things. If you're like, what is this? This is ideal for anybody who wants to have their content planned out, because we have taken 12 PowerPoints, 12 months of recipes, suggested meals, pantry lists, put together an entire hero journey for you, whether you use this online or offline. So I just wanted to show you some really cool things. We are coming out, of course, with a women's hormone wellness program that you will see. We're just working on getting everything live. It's been a big, season already so far. So I just want to make sure, for those of you who are here who have questions about the programs, or you have questions about your business and how to use the programs in your one-on-one, in your groups, any of that, please just ask questions now. I'm going to start to go right into the webinar, the teaching part of it. And don't worry, if you have any questions, guys, we always get to them. Please, you can put a question right in yourhealthcoachbiz.com. We get that to our email, and we will 100% get back to you. I will also show the programs more, show you some of them, and take live questions right after. And if anyone wants to be on the hot seat and get some live, free coaching right away, please just raise your hand. So now that we're getting to the second part of this, plan your month like a pro. I want you, as we talked about in the beginning of this webinar, to come out of this webinar really super clear about who you're meant to serve, how you're going to serve them, and then to use our content, whether it's our blogs. A really great way to, Michelle will pop this in, is to go to our shop at yourhealthcoachbiz.com. You can look, because we actually create niche specific, whether it's websites, website copy, blogs, newsletters, the 12-month content package, which could be used as really mapping out your whole low-cost injector plan, even with the 4-season detox, or any of our programs that arm you with what? PowerPoints or low-cost offers, which would be like a single session, or masterclasses, do it yourself. So I really want you to think about, what are you doing to bring people in and build trust? That low-cost offer. Where are you leading them? If it's your one-on-one, what is the 3-tier? And if they can't afford you, do you have a do-it-yourself option? Do you work offline and do groups? My favorite. And one of the ways that I just always had this ongoing customer life cycle, because somebody would then come and work with me, or do cooking classes, or do grocery shopping tours, which our brand new freebie is a grocery shopping tour exactly the way that I did it in Rachel's Wellness. We also have a CBD oil challenge, a 7-day chakra challenge, lots of really good things to go into the new year, set intentions for your client, and to really build that authority in a way that truly works for you. So one is, you want to think about your month. What are you offering? What is the focus topic of the month? So if we look at the Q1, we're looking at right now November. What is the plan for December? Because if you're coming out and you're launching your business in January, it wouldn't be such a good idea to just come out, wake up January 1st and say, okay, what will I launch this month? A healthy plan, just like in our life, will create healthy profits. So I want you to actually think, what am I teaching? What am I giving away? Many people love our 4-day holiday survival guide. You can go right to the freebies. We also have a 5-day toxin-free challenge. Some people do giveaways so that they what? Keep their fingertips on people in the beginning of December. Some of our coaches are actually doing low-cost offers like, hey, get this, 7-day little get your body back and get ready for the holidays. So think about, what's my plan for December? What am I doing in January? If I'm launching online or offline, what is the price? How many people do I need? How many discovery sessions do I need to get to ensure I'm making $3K a month? Once you're making $3K, it is easy to make $5K because you know that works. You're just then tweaking the numbers. You may be increasing your price, and increasing the price comes with confidence and also comes because you are leading them down a path. If you think of even $333 a month for your core signature offer, guess what? That's $1K program for 3 months. So we start to really say, how are people finding me? How am I getting discovery sessions? If you know people locally, this is the best time to reach out and say, do you want to start the new year, in the end of January, February? We could joint venture. We could co-partner, because I love working offline and bringing people, to my business that way. Because you get to see people, you get to feel them. Or if you are working online, I highly encourage that you get 5 people, you start getting people to test your program. That could be post-cyber, for Thanksgiving, Black Friday, or you can even do here's, a December special. Get people so you get testimonials, you figure out how you need to market it, and come out really strong marketing the second week of January for an open cart on January 4th or December, so that you're not up against what everyone else is doing a January 1st program, and then you're just kind of struggling to keep up with Facebook ads. Because if you do want to do a January 1st launch, for those of you brick and mortar, for those of you who say, hands down, I am doing this is when your marketing starts. 6 weeks before, dripping out each week. These what? Problem. That's why when people said, how many freebies did you have? I said, 25. And Michelle, who worked with me many, many years ago, she's now a copywriter, definitely one that if you're interested, we can put her information as well. She remembers when I moved from MailChimp to Infusionsoft, and the people were like, oh my God, you have 25 freebies. And I said, yeah, but they don't all have automation, because I was testing my market, testing out what people wanted. I kept providing solution. I gave myself literally an hour and a half every morning to really work my work and keep to my plan and stay in my own lane. And every one of those led to what I call a VIP call. I wanted everyone to get on the phone with me. Those of you who have looked at the PDF that you got with this webinar, every one of those people, JJ, Amy Ramsey, Drew, Carrie Adams, all of these people who have success, Steph, they are my moderator, Sarah Lawrence, for a reason. They know what their ideal client wants because they take that time to talk to people. So remember, as you're thinking right now, as you wrote in the beginning, what are those topics you need to talk about, and what really aligns with your soul? What is the journey that you've needed to take? And if you are speaking to a different person, a person that is at the stage 1 and they're just even scared to take a hint of what you do, how can you still help them? Because my mission has always been, there is like nobody left behind. Just like no child left behind, there's nobody who will get to know me and not know that they will learn the free tools, have a low-cost workshop at $15. I used to do $15 workshops. I would go and say, my goal is this. This is my vision. This is my mission. I don't care how wealthy you are. If you have no money, this system is broken and we have to unbreak it. So $15 times 10 people is 150. Even 150 is more than many coaches. They struggle. Let go of the automation. It's okay. Many of us didn't even have it in the beginning anyway. And that should be a little song. $1,800 a year for one $15. How many of you feel that you could do a $15 grocery tour workshop? Now write your plan. Month 1, December, what free workshop or what low cost? Because when they pay, there's that exchange. $10, $35. I would love a $35 workshop on how to boost your moon, because that was a big thing for me and anybody in this world. Teachers, I used to go to the PTA, my kids' school, Montessori, everything, and say, this is what I do. These are my 3 signature workshops. From 3 signature workshops, you can pretty much chain those to fit your ideal client. We have a lot of coaches who just say, I'm not changing anything, hiring a virtual assistant, spending time, it's not my zone of genius, and they buy it. Because if we think of an average cost of a virtual assistant, of one that I would say is in the mid-level, we're talking $20 an hour. If that person works 6 hours, it's $120, pulling information, everything, which is why we price our workshops so reasonable. So I want you to really think $35 for a boost your immune, or lose weight without dieting, eat with intention, our intuitive eating workshop, any of the workshops or freebies. How many of you could say, yeah, I could have 10 people come over and find a place to do a workshop or do a cooking class for $35? Or take one of the 7-day programs and give that in that workshop. That's $350. This is exactly how, but mine went from 35 to 50 to 97 a person. So every month, one person hosted a girls' night out at their house. And that didn't start at 97. This is what I mean. Compare yourself to where people are when they actually first start their business, not where coaches are at stage 3 or stage 4, just like your health journey. So if I look back and I say, what was I charging and pricing? It wasn't a lot, but that was at the stage where I was, my confidence, my coaching skills. And so I want you to really stay at this low cost, because as you build in the low cost, not only are you building trust, but you're building your own confidence. And I think that's the part that nobody talks about. It takes a certain mindset to make a certain amount of money. And so as you're in the infancy stages, just like we're speaking to the infancy stages of our clients, this is the game changer. So $35, 10 people, where are you bringing them to? So let's just say that here you've got this free to a VIP call. So you've got your freebie, write down your freebies. I solve X problem. Because I wish that when I was going through this was around. Like our new hormone program. I wish that I didn't have to buy every Aviva Jill Ron book, although I'm so grateful because I'm blessed for that information, and it's underlined and highlighted with everything encircled. But what if somebody would have had that done for me? What if it would have been at my fingertips and I didn't have to search in all these places? So I want you to think about what freebies, like this freebie where we did about lab testing, what are the freebies that you really feel your ideal client needs, and what did you want? And think about even the people you attract, because a really great funnel is because you've thought about the type of person. Do you attract this type that's at these more advanced strategies, or are you really in just like clean eating? But are they looking for clean eating, or are they really looking for weight loss? Knowing what people want, it doesn't matter where you lead them to, because when you build trust at these low injecting prices, a single session leading, that person will follow you because they will know that you will always provide them the best company. For example, this CBD oil that I'm addicted to right now, it's called Radical Roots. You can only get it through your acupuncturist or somebody in Chinese medicine. It's my favorite one. I'm geeking out on it. If I was coaching, I'd drop these bombs just like I did just like I always did. So I have gallbladder issues. This is one of my favorite things for gallbladder. 7 Force, it's unbelievable. Seek your acupuncturist. This is my favorite by standard process. This is after being with 15 people time me, which bile salt worked for me. But when I coached, I wouldn't say, do this, that's making a claim. I'd say, hey, this was my journey, because I was told, you may have to get your gallbladder out at one time. I was like, no. And I called all the people that I know, and they were like, here, try this, try this. This is the one I love. This actually came from a woman who we spent a lot of money to do testing with, but it's still, I've tried so many others. Get people on a call. You can lead them to your 3-tier work with me. If you get them at a workshop, you can lead them to your work with me. Even if you're working offline, all of those offline are what? Here, sign up for this. Get this free gift. So I'm going to come home and I'm going to send you a personal email, and you're going to get my 21-day CBD oil challenge. Or, hey, my name is Rachel. I'd love to see if you'd be interested. I see you have this juice shop. Do you want to co-partner and you sell your juices and I do a detox? Or, hey, I'm, mom of X and Y. I wanted to see if we could do like a 5-day toxin-free challenge or 5-day no sugar challenge, because I know that these were such a struggle for me when I first had a baby. Or, hey, I'm working with, people in fertility. That's why if you look at the Women's Wellness Hormone Program, you will see each module specifically targets with a freebie, with a PowerPoint. So all of these free offers lead to the call. Your single session at $97, or like we said earlier, $77, is an automatic, hey, just like Brendan Bouchard teaches his high performance coaches, and I worked with one. So there's that gateway. He knows that making that commitment to really invest a lot of time and energy will cost money. But what if you have this non-committal starting point? This starting point where you say, hey, why don't we work together? I know nothing gets fixed in 2 weeks, although I will tell you, a lot of people are doing about 5 things incorrectly, which is why for me, know your baseline. For me, it was detox. And when I had somebody nervous of that word, I did like a paleo program, because that's what worked to get people off those mucus producing foods. What works for you? Write that down. What would you offer in a single session that you feel is a great starting point? Then what's your 30-day or your 60? So again, the pricing is relative based on how you want to work with people. And at the infancy of your business, or if you're not making money, you haven't really figured that out. Don't blame yourself. Seriously, welcome to coaching. Welcome to really any business. So now you're going to write your prices down. What am I charging for 7 days, 14 days? We'll get later in the next lives over the next few weeks. We're going to drill down on how you coach a single session, what you do, because I get a lot of people asking me, Rach, how'd you set up your VIP day? How did you set up group coaching? How did you JV? How did you? That's the secret sauce. Trust me. It's when somebody really breaks down, yeah, I was totally confused and this is what I did, but it worked. And then, of course, if you're confused, this is why we have all our great coaches who have used our programs to really build their network marketing, like Jess Royston. There is not one way to use the programs. Okay, boom, get somebody on the phone. They're not ready to jump into your 90-day intensive. So if we look, and I did the pricing at $297 a month, that's $891. Great. What is my 90-day? Even if you have a program like Carrie Adams, who took the Mindset Makeover and she funneled it out through her membership. She also pivoted as she thought everyone would want to come there for running and energy and performance, but she realized pretty fast that people wanted to be in there and learn about their hormones and blood sugar and weight loss. And so she pivoted, meaning if you have something that is working or not working, are you missing the message with what people really want from you? So if they're not ready to commit on your one-on-one, and remember, what you buy, I always say, before you spend so much money on all this automation, and trust me, I love automation, but test it. Buy a program, test it out in December, launch it in January. Not only will you have confidence, but you'll be your program. You will be your system. You will be your freebie. You will be your workshop, because you've taken the time to like do the workshop. Taken the time. If you're like, well, where am I supposed to do it? You've pulled up the PowerPoint. You've done a mock. You've practiced. And that's the part, the big P word I talked about that today. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about how this takes practice. And so you get stuff, you you bring in your personalization, these little bits and stories, and then you practice. There's not a perfect moment, just like there's not a perfect time to build a business or have a baby or anything. There's not a guidebook for that. You figure out, how do you want to parent? You read from these different books and you pull it. That's our job with coaching. Our job is to help people stop feeling overwhelmed and figure out the steps, because we live in a world of chronic illness and mystery illness. We live in a world where autoimmune is standard. We live in a world where people are hearing, oh, it's okay, you're just at that age. That's just what happens. No, that's not okay, actually. It's not okay to sit there. And I interviewed Ann Louise Gittleman and Reed Davis, who are actually the master bonus coaches, not coaches, wellness practitioners, everything, nutritionists, functional medicine, for the women's hormone program. And they both said the same thing. We live in a world that if you're not teaching people how to navigate this path, we get sick. Not only have we seen ourselves maybe get sick, but we've seen people we love, our friends, fall down that trap because they weren't armed with what to do. So when I think of, okay, well, what can I accomplish in single session? I think I can change the game. I can plant the seed. Plus, you're making money. You're making money and you're still servicing people where they need to be serviced and met. And then it gives you an opportunity to lead up and say, now, hey, I really had an amazing session with you. Here's your notes. Here's everything. If you want to talk again about working with me for 3 months, or us figuring out, a plan that really works for you and your significant other or your family, I can talk about all the ways to work with me. VIP day, what are you including, guys? Groups, offline, kitchen cleanup, pantry cleanouts. I just made it a whole single session. 150, great. I will come clean out everything, or we can go to the market, shop together. I want you to get back to the basics. Even if you have advanced strategies for your first tier membership and a second tier, and you need a founding bonus, those of you who know this talk, you know what to do. You know where to go. What I really want to talk to those of you who don't know where to start or what you're doing is not working. So, boom, now we're ready. This person's not ready to commit. Just like for those of you who are doing retreats, intensive masterminds, masteries, those are for what? That stage 3rd person. They're ready. Or maybe a retreat, they just want a different experience. But imagine this. Before a retreat, you host 3 hours, 4 hours, a half day, 20-person workshop. Much easier, low cost. You could do that for like 197 and your goal is 10 people, 1,970 plus the food that you're going to bring in the snacks, about 150 and juices and all this delicious stuff, plus the rent of the place, 300. Let me minus that by 400, 1,570. Think about your local church, your synagogue, all different places, your local health food store, a yoga place. I did so many of these. I did them offline. I did them online. It's not a right or wrong. It's just knowing your whole business platform so you can actually map it out and inject it. All right. If they're not ready to commit to any of the above, where are they going? So think, here's my work with me, step 1, 2, 3. Those are my do-it-yourself or my self-paced programs. Mine was a 14-day detox. And then I did what on my do-it-yourself page? Do it with me. Do it by yourself. Do it with 1 hour session, as I said, for 97. I'm still making what I need to make. 97 times 10, 1,000. That is with a do-it-yourself as an upsell. This does not include your cooking classes or anything. If you had one class for $50 times 5, 250. This is about sitting there and saying, okay, where am I leading people? How many people do I need to talk to? What is my work with me created like? And this is actually a coach. You will see clearly right here, you will receive 2 one-on-one consult with and listen to and create a program specific to your needs. You will receive a step-by-step to cleansing. No more guesswork. You'll receive a 14-day menu which emphasizes cleansing foods to make life simple. You'll receive recipes, and more recipes. $2.99. comes out to be our 297. I didn't even notice that earlier. This is a girl, Sarah Sullivan. I love her site. I followed her 8 years. And she's always had this platform. She does corporate wellness. She does cooking classes, see, individual sessions. And she does that with also I think it's a do-it-yourself cleanse. Here she goes. Boom. On her work with me. Initial consult 125, follow-up 85. What are you giving your clients? Now we see right here, cooking classes, lunch and learn. I used PowerPoints. I would say to people when I would follow up at lunch and learns, you know, hey, you can get this program for only, or I would actually say to them there, do you mind if I do promotion? Because what people started asking me to come to their lunch and learns because I was showing up on videos and I was also showing up offline. Offline was securing the money for me. This is just what worked. I didn't have the money for Facebook ads. If you do, bless you, but just do them right. Because if not, it's a lot of wasted money. And just be careful on the times that you're launching those Facebook ads, as you might be hitting some conversion rates of $8 to $12 a conversion. The nice thing about when you start to show up in this really authentic but concise way, and you have different freebies that allow you to see what are people really wanting, to people not like the word cleanse, to people, are they interested in anti-aging? Like, what are they interested in is more, what do they see you as? What do you keep teaching about? Connecting the dots to all these pieces, because your process and where you lead them, you're going to see that sometimes there's not just one process, especially if you work with people with chronic illness, mystery illness, autoimmune. It's different. It's different if you're working maybe like weight loss and sugar. There is a distinct plan, and you may not have so many deviations unless that was part of your journey. So remember, just look at what you need, where are the holes missing if you do have successful business that's working. Nice thing about do-it-yourself prices is you can be at $37. Like I said, upsell, follow up on buying right away. Like, hey, thank you so much. That can be right from your phone, or that can even be an automation. Lead to a one-on-one call. Upsell to your 97 per hour. Oops, that extra R got in there. So this could even be a higher ticket. This could get you to 150. Think about how many people do I need to get at this price to get to my 3K a month, or to have a really simple launch where I do a 3-hour class on the program, or to co-partner JV with a local place. Again, it's not to say that you can't do things online. Be concise and be clear. And that's where you can use the done for you content, the materials to even do lives, blogs, newsletters, freebies, all that stuff. So when somebody comes to your site, they can download a bundle. Wow, this person just gave me this bundle, or I saw this person do a wellness giveaway. It doesn't need to be on a whole beautiful page. You can use Eventbrite. Gary Vaynerchuk still does. Keep it simple in your approach. Spend more time talking about what it is that you see missing, what missed in your life, and less time, what I always say, kind of messing around thinking, is this going to be the one-shot perfect thing? It's about really building that trust. So upsell to your 97 an hour, use your low-cost offers to lead your client down a path to either your one-on-one, groups, classes, courses. Some of you are doing course-based. Some of you are selling programs like Drew did. He took the 3-month Eat with Intuition and then has an immediate upsell. It's all self-paced, and if they want to upsell, they can have an upsell price of $495 to get access to all these videos that he pre-recorded. Think of it, it's not difficult to do that. We spend so much time saying, I don't know what to say, instead of just turning off the camera, doing the PowerPoint, calling it a day, or just being ourselves. Because at the end of the day, I didn't want perfection. I wanted somebody who could hear me, see me, walk with me, just like my acupuncturist. You know, it's like I wanted somebody who could take me down the journey and had something I wanted. That's the biggest thing about coaching is you don't have to be a certain type of way, but somebody's got to want what you have. It's whether the energy or the ability to handle, like I said, your autoimmune, or to navigate how you deal with food allergies, all these things that are confusing in this world of information. This is an example, and many people do this. I think it's a home run. If you go to Nicole Jardine, which she is a fertility, she's a hormone specialist. She's known for fixing her period, as maybe like one of her first. You will see that these are these low cost injector offers. So 4747, she leads them down to what? Her bigger programs, her phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then she has a mentorship and apprenticeship. This is what we call the Profit Multiplier. For some of you, that Profit Multiplier is going to be like a group coaching that consistently happens. Maybe you start like January 15th, then you end April 15th. Then you start again. It's going to be these starting places, whether it's an offline group, online, whether it's a group that you're meeting with at a gym or a mom's group. And some of you are doing this, of course, in memberships or low-cost memberships, keeping it really simple. You can take any, even the PowerPoints as I was going through the brand new Women's Hormone Wellness with each module, from fertility to pregnancy to post-pregnancy, breastfeeding, to the next, which is health concerns that can sometimes stop us from having healthy menstruation, healthy hormones, from the beginning stages of our life to the later stages, which that second path takes you through healthy sexuality, menstruation, and then we move into the later path, which is perimenopause, menopause, and post-menopause. Even in each of these programs, pull the PowerPoint down. If you buy anything, I always say, give yourself 10 hours to go through it, to really map it out, to map out your business, to think about these different people who could be coming to you with different issues at different commitment levels. This would be a perfect, you could take our 5-day hormone freebie and combine it with a PowerPoint. You could take the 21-day hormone detox and lead them to the path of your choice with the Women's Wellness Program, or you can buy them individually, or you can buy the whole entire funnel. Remember, it's about really mapping it out. You create a distinct path. This is Hildy. I actually went to Detox school with her. I show this a lot because the clarity is unbelievable. The different levels, like get this free download. We have many different coaches who have successfully built their business, and it didn't happen overnight. Megan Rand, Dana Denali, a lot of different coaches, Fearful to Fit, JJ. This was constantly testing out what worked, and also having these different pieces of what you're experiencing in your life right now. Maybe you work with, really busy moms because you are a really busy mom, or you worked corporate wellness, so you really get it. Doesn't mean that you're specializing in corporate wellness. It means that you work with busy moms who struggle with what? The woman who's in her 30s, who is a really busy new mom, works corporate in sales, high intensity, very different person emotionally, or even than a woman who's working 9 to 5 and she's at the front desk. Very different from the mom who is in her 30s, who's at home with her kids. This is where the magic comes in understanding what each of these people want, because they're all very different. You can still bring them to the same place, but they each have different pain points. They each have different things they want to get solved. And the key is in that messaging to use all the different freebies, the low cost offers to bring people through the next step. So here we have free access to Hildy's 3 secrets. For those of you who love video or even don't love it, I say, get on board, because you can take a freebie. You could take the 5-day toxin free challenge and make 5 videos. You could take any of the freebies, any of the workshops we have, or one of my favorite ones is our brand new workshop on overcoming stress and mastering your sleep, which is such a huge topic. If we don't have good sleep, we'll have more stress, we'll have anxiety, but we've got to get to the core on how to handle stress. You can easily make that a little video course. Maybe that little video course leads to a higher ticket. Lead them down the path of what? Educate, educate, educate. Okay, educate, one-on-one session, educate, like you have to get into that pattern and know, even if you're a 9-to-5er, carve out 2 nights a week or 3 nights where you do strategy sessions for people. I guarantee if you start to work with this low offer injector method and also get people on the phone and speak to people and have 3 signature workshops that you can do or as webinars, really own them, really become them, you will make money. So here's Hildy's paid offer. Just got to look at prices. So you will see here we have a 60-minute Skype session for $450. Let me just say, there are coaches, trust me, I work with them, I've worked with them, been in the situation myself. You might look and say, oh my God, $450 an hour. Trust me, if you continue at it, you will be charging $450. And for those of you who are doing functional medicine testing, or you do affiliate earnings, it's very easy to also reverse engineer where you include tests, or where you're getting money from some of the amazing lab testing where somebody can go and really be empowered and do it on their own. Then you have a paid offer, follow-up empowering session. So she's really taking her offers and saying, this is who it's for, this is what you get. She's putting the iridology sessions and analysis, 2 privates, 60 minutes inspirational, and she's showing this is how much it is to work with me in this customized plan. Now we go to pay to offer 5. 3-month program, cut the crap mindset strategy. Love it. $850 a month. She's very clear who this is, what you get. And as you see, even though on her front, so this is just what we talk about, like the clarity. Autoimmune, Lyme, digestive health, chronic fatigue, parasites, anxiety, depression. She is actually a fruitarian. It's what she does. She does a lot of different methodologies with her own health, as we all do. But it's not always going to be the ideal thing for our clients. She does breatharian work. She has done made fast for 30 days. You don't necessarily see that. What she does is she drills down on the fact that she was bedridden in hell, and she offers a solution because she went there just like each one of you did in your own. Whatever your definition on that, what we call hell, so to speak, that's your definition. And there's somebody that has that exact story, because I've been on the other side and I've had people say, this is why I hired you, because you talked about all these missing ingredients. Free offer, mini breakthrough, one-on-one session. It can lead to group. See how it can constantly upsell. Hey, I know that you were with me at one time. I'm hosting this amazing group. It's going to be off the chart. It's going to be a 60-day weight loss program. Oh my God, of course I want to come. I've missed you. That's what it's like when you start to get a great referral. Steph B talked about this today in my membership call. And Steph B went from, Rach, I'm going to work with you on some niche story work on her business, to just like all of us, I'm going to quit. That's it. It's not working, to now breaking over the 6-figure mark. We all have a journey. You're just not told that it starts at 0 and you got to keep going. And it's about refining what you do and really getting clear, because I was once at a high ticket event speaking, and this woman spoke who talked about building trust. And she said, branding is not just about what you say every day. It's about the walk you walk and the talk you talk. It's about showing people these strategies, these hacks, even if you don't like the word biohacking, it's these hacks. I was just talking to my son about this, how we naturally do intermittent fasting, which is one of our brand new freebies. And I said, I'm going to give it to you because I want you to read it. But you are learning these biohacks, these hacks for your body. You're a vegetarian. You are a high-fat person. We talked about this the other day. And this was my little munchkin who is now, in his early adolescent years. But I thought, this is the change that I get to have. I get to have this conversation with my son about hacking his body and listening to his needs, which both my kids do well because they were given that permission. Some of us didn't for a myriad of different reasons, or some of us got to a point where we're like, I have to wake up and really be a change maker and a leader, no matter what that will cost. And so you can have VIP days, you can bring them to, of course, this like VIP package. I think for the majority of you, very similar to me, you're at this place. VIPs were my favorite. The way I structured them is I gave a program, most often involved that we were shopping or just cooking together. And then I would give a program for each person in the family. I'm that over deliver, but because of that, people always came back. And I would charge my hourly price, 150 times 5 hours, minus 1 hour. So that was $600 that I made. So if you know that, wow, that would be something I'd really love to do, you know your hourly price after this webinar, as I promised in the beginning, and now you can figure out your VIP days. Because how many of us have friends who are like, can we just like do a whole day where you're teaching and doing these fun things? Guess what? You can do it. Beginning of December is even great. Boost the immune, have a whole day with like how to lose weight without ever dieting kind of things. So I even want to stop right now for a second and just make sure that I can answer some questions. And if anybody wants to come on live, I think I saw somebody. Wow, we're all silent tonight with no questions. Okay, somebody is actually raising their hand. I'm trying to see who it is though. Oh, okay. Danielle, I've actually talked to Danielle. I'm gonna just bring you to panelists. We're gonna go over one question and just see if your question, of course, can help anyone else. Hey, I can't, hold on, let me just, there you are.
Hi, Rich, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. This, of course, has been incredible. I've been frantically taking notes here. I've got like my many pages of notes.
I'm with you. I feel that way. I was just doing that. Annalise Gittleman was talking. I was like, yeah. And she would ask me a question. I was like, huh? Okay, so let's ask away.
Okay, so here's my, I have a couple of sort of trying to wrap my head around this. Of course, I love the new freebies. And as we've talked, like I'm a paleo, keto, intermittent fasting. That's kind of my niche for reducing inflammation, weight loss, just boosting people's energy. Seems like my folks are mainly going to be like in their 40s and 50s. So those are my people. Middle-aged, I'm 50, so that's where we're at. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, you had talked about kind of testing all these freebies, and I see a little bit, like I was looking at the websites that you suggested, but how do I kind of frame, you know, I don't want to have multiple freebies so people aren't like coming to my website and like it feels like they're in like a mall at Christmas time, you know, lots of things and check this and this and this, you know, like that path you were talking about, both visually and also kind of lead them through it, like I said, without the overwhelm.
100%. And I love this question because people always say to me, you know, should I blog? Am I going to get clients that way? Do I need to do SEO? And there's all these, what we think are these like massive shortcuts to get to where we need to get. At the end of the day, I really do believe most of us don't know how our clients get there, how people find us. And I still, to this day, I would say 25,000 into hiring different social media companies, nobody can give you a straight answer. So this is what I did, is all of these freebies weren't on just the front of my site. So if I were to say, in the way that I picked out my signature freebies on my site, is I had a 3 bundle. I did back in the day before Zoom, before any of this, when you could actually record right from YouTube, I made crappy ass videos, but I found that people felt that that was really a first touch with me. And that to me, I had major fear. I know it doesn't look like now, but this is after like so many live talks, so many of that. My first go to YouTube, I'm like this. Today we're going to talk about cranberry juice, but I started. And so I did a video on every topic. And that's one, how people would find me internationally. I never did Facebook ads until 4.5 years ago. So I didn't do them in my wellness business, but I made sure I had videos. And it was videos and the power of Google, which still is hands down the best It's the best search engine out there. The reason people talk Pinterest a lot, and this is, I'm going to bring you into the next part, is because Pinterest too is a search engine. That's why I also tell people, I don't care if you don't use a Facebook business page, have one, because that's a search engine. If you ever Google that, you will see, because Facebook is a machine. You will see that sometimes on like the 10th one down, or even the 4th one down. So my freebies were used. I would come out and I'd be like, hey guys, today on Rachel's Wellness, we're going to talk about the fact that my kids can't eat anywhere and what I do. And I would have exactly, you know, these are their food allergies. I would show the Genova tests. I was like, look, this is where we are. We've done ALCAT. This is the disconnect I see. This is what I need to make. And guys, this was way before any gluten-free, soy-free, blessed thing from God. This was when it was cook in your kitchen or you're in a snafu. And so I would talk about that on social media, on my personal page. I didn't ever tell people, buy. I'm not one still. Facebook doesn't like it. And people don't like it. I'm not one to be like, here, click here for this challenge. I talked about it. I would always say in the beginning of that post, like, hey, go over to my website and it's okay. Go over to my website. And I just did a blog on this. The very blog I would do would be a video. I made my content so that each day I was doing something with a shareable piece. So my blog, I didn't worry, and this is what I mean about let go of perfection, guys. I didn't worry about whether it was Pinterest ad size or Pinterest size. I didn't worry whether it was, is this the proper size? I knew if I would get out there, test what people would see, even say, oh my God, guys, I'm doing this wellness giveaway. And Michelle knows because she remembers doing all of them with me. I had 3 freebies on the front of my site that I really felt. I always had a digestive wellness with 7 steps to digestive wellness. And I had videos with it. So that somebody was like, wow, she just gave me a video. She opened up her fridge. I put the computer right there. And I was like, you're in my kitchen. Hello. And I would talk about the best probiotics that I found after years, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars between people. And really, guys, if you sit there and think about how much have you invested in school, training, your own practitioners, everything, you have invested a lot of money. And that's the difference between you and somebody else. So I had that signature bundle on the front. Then on the free tool page, this is what I always suggest. You're not like, hey, there's 80 checklists. You're like, hey, come here, make yourself at home. This is who this freebie is really great for. This is how it helped me. Everything that you see on my free tool page below are my armed toolbox of defenses, or whatever you want to say, you know, are my healthy tools for women struggling in their 40s and 50s, because damn girl, we have to have the toolbox. So everything on that free tool page makes sense. Makes sense for them on a path. You're not giving away the shopping center for free. You're like, hey, grab this 3-day detox, or grab this 5-day thyroid weight loss. This was really great for me because this took me primal. This took me to ancestral eating, because everything about what you just said is, you know, the pillars. Now it's just putting in the building blocks for that. If this person opts in for intermittent fasting, what else is also her problem? She may not even know intermittent fasting because that's a stage 2 or stage 3 word. She's like, what's all this? Where's the magazine? What's all this clean eating about? I was reading in there and I saw, oh my God, paleo ancestral eating. Or I happened to be at the checkout. Did you know blah, blah, blah of Real Housewives just did ketogenic? This is where people hear their stuff. Right. And I think we make these assumptions, which we all know what word that says, thinking that people are like, oh yeah, they know what primal is. No, some people are like, what? And you're like, primal, you know, like getting back to the basics. They're like, oh, I thought it was like some sexual thing. You were like, like primal. Because if we're not in that world, if we don't know these words, biohacking, can't tell you how many people have said, well, I'm a vegetarian. I'm like, no, biohacking is taking charge of your entire 24-hour day. There are levels that primal and ancestral talk about that take us into this intermittent fasting. So on the end, so one, we have that freebie bundle in the beginning, and we connect because we say, here, download this 3 things. Boom, 3 emails to connect, a video right there. Or, hey, I want to lead you over to this page where you can do these videos. For those of you doing Facebook ads, it's a great retargeting. It's a great way to save money as well. The second part is on your freebie page, you've got these freebies. On your blogs, the freebies that you have and why they become so powerful is you're like, hey guys, I just did a blog on my top 5 favorite smoothies for gallbladder support. And I talked about this connection of enzymes, metabolic enzymes, acid, alkaline, and all these key things that I really wish I would have known for anti-aging. And for supporting my liver and my gallbladder, because that bile flow is essential for what? Liver, it's essential for the gallbladder, and it's essential to take out the toxins. So let's get started. Riff, 1, 2, 3 points. This is what you need. Head on over, read the blog, and I also have this free guide. That free brings them into the path. So you never know if somebody, and the best marketers aren't these geniuses. Don't kill me, guys. Aren't these geniuses in marketing? It's a genius in human activity, human like behaviors. So I always say, where do you go to Google? Where do you go to Pinterest for recipes? It's a great place to find recipes. Do you Google, I don't know how to, or best herbs or best foods for adrenal? What are you Googling? Write it down. Then the very things that you're Googling and they pop up, look at the videos, look at the images, see what's out there in what you just Googled. Guess what? That's pretty proven. Meaning they're at the high rank because it's really working. But then you infuse your own and you say, okay, well, if I can share this blog on Pinterest, we can share this blog and go, hey guys, here's a blog. When you lead with education and information, there's never a problem. It's when we lead with, oh my God, well, I don't know why this person isn't signing up for my 6 month, because they're not there yet. Does that make sense? So that's how you figure it out without them being everywhere. They can be on blogs, they can be in conversations, they can even pull from content to make a video. My thing is that I always said, if I get one form together and I don't even make it fancy, I can test it out over even 1 month. You can go into 2020 or whatever year we're watching this later with this really clear plan of, okay, so I've got women that are looking for intermittent fasting. This was my story. But what are they looking at the beginning? They feel what? Weight, they're losing their hair, they've got bags under the eyes, they're constipated, cold hands, cold feet. They're searching every symptom, every problem. Our job is to uncover and pull back and say, yeah, no, I totally get you were Googling that. This is my nightmare to figuring out why my hair was falling out. This is how long it took me, because I can tell you, I was on that really pretty path where I'd go like this and I'd be like, it was autoimmune, it was thyroid. I had to keep digging viral components, pathogens, bacteria. That was my story. My story attracted my ideal client because it was my story fueled by, here's this problem, here's the solution. Here's this problem, here's the solution. I hit, I don't know if I have the document, 25 different, it was almost like I was symptom chasing, but that's what I had to understand, that unless somebody had been through the system, had done testing, had gone to an acupuncturist, a homeopath, a Chinese herbalist, shaman, everything, they didn't understand these words I was saying. Too often we're saying the wrong things because we make this assumption somebody is where we are or that it's being said. Of course it's being said. But what makes it unique is you're saying it and it's your story, and there is somebody with that exact same story when we show up. Do you have any question, Danielle, about that? I actually can't hear you. Hold on.
Here we go. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I really love what you were just saying about the symptom Googling, because you're absolutely right. I mean, of course, biohacking, intermittent fasting, all that, anti-aging, but that's not where I started from, of course. I was like, Hashimoto's, fatigue. Why have I just gained 15 pounds, the day I turned 49?
Exactly. Or why did I just eat that and gain 3 pounds? Doesn't mean you have to specialize in food allergies, guys. This is what I always say. Like, that's a common thing for everyone. That's when either what? Kidneys are weak and we need to cleanse. Toxin is overloaded, liver is overloaded. And it was like, whoa, we just got this food we're kind of sensitive to. Our problem is really to be like, I used to say to my clients, cool, okay, great. We get to put the pieces of the puzzle together because your health is literally a puzzle. And so that's why, the biggest thing is if somebody opts in to something at intermittent fasting, I'm kind of like the stage 2, they're like, oh my God, I love Bulletproof. I've literally bought everything from him. He's amazing. Then I have no problem going to a keto program. But if I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, I don't feel great. I mean, I'm eating fine. I eat a bagel and low-fat cream cheese. Of course I eat good. You're like, I can still help you. You still need to get here. But you and I are going to jam in a completely different way in the beginning stages because you weren't searching for that. I can still bring you to a keto, high protein, low fat, but you might get what I used to get. I don't know if I can do this. I'm completely addicted to carbs. And I'm like, no problem. We are going to take you off of your soy-ridden Special K cereal that was promised to you that it would give you protein and energy, but it's robbing your thyroid blind because that happened. Because I was a soy addict. And so it's like, we're going to take you here and I'm going to baby step you because you're an overwhelmed mommy and you're really concerned about yourself, but really at the end of the day, you're going to put your kids first. So we're going to meet you everywhere you need to be at. I know you're worried about your husband. I know you're worried about your kids. I know you don't think you're a good mom. I know you have mommy guilt. I know you just had a baby. It's okay. You're a hot mess. Give it a year. Let's just make sure that you've got good flora so that if you're giving milk to your baby, oh no, I wasn't able to do that. I found out that I had all these, issues. Okay, so now let's figure out what's for you. It's like always, and I think that's the part that we also don't talk about is how to coach. It's listening to somebody. It is mirroring. It's not going, oh, you just said you want to detox. Let's do that. It's helping them to navigate in the place of what? A guide and that journey. And I think too much we overthink it. We doubt ourselves. We don't show up. And so we don't show up what? Daily with conviction. Like clean eating for me, sorry, in a gut world, us chicks don't do peanut butter. I tested that for 1.5 years. You can mold free. You can say it's been blessed from the higher ups and I will still say no. Because in my core belief, I'm not going to put fungus and cheese and just mold. But that's for me. Other people think it's clean eating. No, if you say goodbye to processed and you don't go to drive-thrus, getting somebody sometimes to just that place of swapping out is where they are in their life. Doesn't mean that you build your whole business around that, but you always want to think about what's for the masses that can still feed in these off months and plan it out. So you think, what is December? Maybe I should just say, a holiday, not a holiday special, but hey, I really want to help you get right before you go into the holidays. Thanksgiving, holidays can cause a lot of stress. This can increase the cortisol levels. Here's my way of doing Thanksgiving right. Here's my way of going through the holidays and knowing that you have an arsenal of what to do when you feel bloated, when you feel tired, when you wake up with the bags in your eyes, when you say, oh my God, Mom, I gotta have your pecan pie. I've been waiting all year, because you're just not gonna say no. That's what I would be like, hey guys, I emotionally ate literally a Cape Cod's potato chip bag last night. And I would talk about that because I talked about the fact that my dad and I had a relationship where we were disconnected. And I would always share, oh my God, this is what I did last night and this is why. And this is what I'm doing today. Aloe vera, nettle tea, dandelion, chlorophyll, chlorella, lemon water, and I would share the exact process. And under that on Facebook, which remember guys, I've told you tonight a lot about going offline. I worked online, but what I did is I said, I'm going to do this and I'm going to just share constantly about what I do. To go back to my early things, of course, me, myself, and 3 other girlfriends were the only people who liked it. But when I started coming out and saying, this is who I serve, these are the problems that I help you to uncover. It's not fix, is I'm going to put the power back in your hands. So sick and tired of our power being ripped. Here, work with me. I'm going to teach you. I used to say to my clients, can think of Stanley. He used to laugh at me. I'd be like, Stanley, I can't wait till you fire me because I know that I've done my job. He's like, Rachel, what do you mean? I'm like, that's my goal. My goal is I've given you and you know how to navigate this world. That's it. Did I unmute you? No, I think I muted you. Okay, Danielle, I know I just ranted for a while. Are you clear? Think about the problem. So even if you buy something that you feel is a solution, like, you know, like we said, paleo or keto, like paleo kind of being the stage 1 for somebody before maybe she goes fully ancestral keto, think about what does she need to hear? Or if somebody is, if you're taking them to like your mean baby, what are some of the baby steps that they first need to have in this awareness zone so that they're like, wow, you constantly talk, whether it's offline or online, and they're like, you've been this missing piece. It's like you're in my head, Danielle. And that's what people say when you start to like really share, like, I can't believe this is what happened. But I always say we have to find the medium. I used to use something called Meet Egger. It's now very expensive. But I said, you know what? I don't know where anyone is. I'm going to put this. I'm going to have a blog to share, a video, links. Like on your Instagram profile, people always do Linktree. It's a great thing. Or you can even bring them right to your site and be like, here, free tools on one clickable. And that's what I love about a free tool page.
Great.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, please reach out. We can always hop on a Zoom and do what we did before and screen share and stuff like that.
All right, great. Thank you. This is
All
very
right.
helpful, especially the baby steps. I mean, I love what you're saying because you're right. I'm like keto, ancestral, paleo. And when you're talking that, I'm like, sugar. What's the first thing that everybody says?
I'm addicted to sugar.
My energy crashes all day. And it's like, oh, let's talk about a sugar detox before anything else. And people are like, well, that makes sense to me. They've heard that sugar is not good. How do I get off it? So
not just remember, like we always say, oh, get off of it. The biggest thing, the key in conversion is when you're like, hey, I know everyone's talking about sugar cravings. I'm going to actually talk about these missing ingredients, the missing pieces of the puzzle that we may not be thinking about, because we all have choice in life. We all know per se what to do. So why don't we do it? In a world of books, and I can get a 7-day program in here and every other magazine. Why? Because what's out there is just what's out, you know, the stuff that is out there. And that's why when somebody goes, oh my God, I totally love that podcast. I listen to everything. It's because that person is what? Sharing things that are connecting the dots. Sharing things that bring us out of the struggle emotionally, physically, spiritually. Provide a step-by-step action plan. Like I used to say to my clients, here's a vision board. I need you for 1 minute to do 1-minute meditations 6 times a day. Because I know you're crazy busy like me. It's these simple strategies, and then saying in my one-on-one, yeah, you are going to get these onboarding documents so that we can go step by step and you have little cheat sheets. All right. I will see you later. Bye, Danielle. All right. Let me just see if anyone has any questions. If somebody's looking for the Keto Jumpstart, I can figure out where it is. Another one is really nice. Keto Jumpstart is a little of a program. Another one that's a freebie is the 5-day keto. There are so many different like I said, freebies, the 12-month done for you content that's in the content, even some of our favorite programs to just launch when it comes to what I call this general. Sometimes you don't know your niche. People love 21 Day A New You Weight Loss. It's these many different like feed in of like, hey, so it may not just be counting points. There may be your metabolism's off, maybe that you're not have a schedule, and so you're just always feeling like out of whack, stressing and kind of overthinking. Here's your low healthy schedule. Here's some information on metabolism. Here's some key information on digestive health. Here are some of the missing ingredients, thyroid, all this different stuff to, here, let me just show you let me also show you. Here's some of the missing key ingredients to some of the issues that we have been looking at. So the one thing I just want to say, and then we're going to go right into looking at some of the programs, is that sometimes we do have what is already working and we're just missing these ingredients to also either up level or to really attract our ideal client. So 100%, if you are struggling, or I met Danielle because she reached out to me, we jumped on a Zoom, we got really clear about the program structure, these different parts. That's what makes a great funnel, guys. I can't say it more. I can't say it enough. Let me also just do one thing and just see if we are live on that. Just got to check in. Either way, though, I'm going to just show the materials. So give me just a second to get there. Okay, so a little about this program. Somebody's asking about the Women's Wellness Program. Just want to show you. This is a behemoth. I don't know. I was saying this. I don't know if we've ever created a program this in depth on like one-on-one. But these are the business materials. There are 9 modules. You will see this. You can buy this as the whole track, or kind of like the whole path, like fertility, pregnancy, postpartum. You can also buy individual modules. So let me just show you the extent of this. This is also you can do this as a course. This could even be a membership, because the entire guide, which is right here. Why do things have to change? Sorry, guys. I just don't understand sometimes why Dropbox and all these things need to change. Okay, just give me a sec. So right here, this is fertility. On average, they're about 35 to 38 pages. You will see right here from everything from the fertility diet to eliminating hormone disrupting foods. If you are looking at retune versus this is a specific module. There are specifics for fertility and also a PowerPoint module that goes right with it. If you're working with people in your one-on-one, that's also why we mapped out the entire client system. But there is not an overlap of the fertility PowerPoint, retune. Retune is more like a general program with generalized information. This is very specific, gets into the nitty-gritty of each specific stage, from fertility, pregnancy, postpartum, all the way to this next path that we said, okay, here is, menstruation, then there's like healthy sexuality, these health concerns that stop us from, being able to have balanced hormones. Of course, the fertility touches on menstruation, because that's going to be essential for what? A healthy pregnancy. So this is all about fertility. There's a 3-day detox included. I wouldn't say that it replaces the 21-day hormone detox. These recipes, there is no BPA-free canned foods, which we're very known for, because I feel people in a pinch need to go get something. But when we are dead serious about getting our hormones back into balance, there are no endocrine disruptors, and there can't be. So there are 6 months of meals mapped out, brand new recipe guides, omnivore, vegetarian, over 90 recipes in the vegetarian, 101 in the omnivore, with shopping lists for 6 months. Even if you do one shopping list and you are the most skilled, guess what? It's going to take you about an hour and a half. For us to do a 2-week with somebody who has done them and is really skilled, it takes us about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And that is $25 times 2. So whether you're with somebody who is doing that for you or you're doing it, you have to think, what is your time worth? I mean, that's what I always say to people. Let me just even download this one so you can see. Much easier. The other thing is that each one of these, as you will see when I get that, is that they have a session system with a coach flow sheet. We did this also with the Detox this season because we realized so many coaches are working in what I call these hybrid businesses, because you're really maximizing your efforts, meaning you can only take on so many people. You can only see so many people. How are you getting to that path of 3K a month, 5K, 8, where you can make this a sustainable business? We find that many people, even if you are totally working online, for sometimes you need this. You need this even in a membership. You need kind of these individual talking points, these interaction notes, or maybe you're doing, a mastery on this and then leading people to a live retreat. You still need what I call starting places. Whether you're doing, like I said, a course, you need to have these little sheets, these little cheat sheets to help you so that you don't have to do it yourself. So at the end of the day, most of us either have an autoimmune, we homeschool, we're a 9-to-5er. This is not your side hustle. This is what you're meant to do. And the biggest disconnect that we have is, how do I get there? And everyone, myself included, and everyone I know in this industry, we look for this quick solution because we want it. We're in what? We're in pain. My favorite line by Eric Thomas is like, you're already in pain. Don't quit. Figure it out and push through. And so if you're sitting there and you're trying to, like I said, build your business in this one way because you so desperately want it, I get that. And at the same time, it's time to let go of also what doesn't work and try something else on. So I always say the quick thing is, you just keep testing. You keep testing what people want. And that's the part that nobody talks about. It's not just this one Facebook ad funnel. Trust me. It's figuring out what people actually want and staying on top with talking with people on the phone. I'll show you just this last thing because I didn't even get to this. And this is actually one of our moderators in my membership. Her name's Carrie Adams. I saw Carrie, who bought 3-month Mindset Makeover, and was like, this is not working. She built a membership by herself on ClickFunnels. She's one of these people that's really good with videos. And she was like, I don't even know what to do. She's now at 10K a month. It didn't happen overnight. This was like 2 years ago. But what she does is she shows up so authentic, so much in an authentic way, but talks constantly about the problems that we have as a woman, feeling alone, feeling like we're not good enough, and that she created this, and her big mission and why was to create a community where women could come and be with each other and let go and just be women and not moms and not a wife, all these different things, plus learn how to lose weight, plus get access to guest speakers, plus have master classes, plus get the support and the homework you need to stay accountable. So this is just the module. I mean, the PowerPoint that goes with that module, each is crafted exactly the same way. So let me just see 1 second. And I'm going to take questions. I just want to see if it's live. Yep. So if it's live and you can't find it, go to the shop page. I just want to make sure, go to the shop page and go to, in programs, mega program. I think it's under mega, 3-month women's wellness hormone program, or go, like I said, to the program page, to the drop down. Everything right here is so done. Our team that has worked on these programs, they're unbelievable because we really thought about every different roadblock, and that's the key word. Every different common handout that you would need with your clients, the individual handouts, the superfoods. And so you have a do not eat cheat sheet, endocrine disruptors, gut and hormone cheat sheet, estrogen metabolism, seed cycling, and then we move into pregnancy. So that was just the client materials. You have to even go to each one of the business materials and see. Right here you have 2 guides because there's no way that we could do pregnancy without beautiful labor and birth, which is why in postpartum you will see 2 guides, because there is no way that we can do a guide and talk about pregnancy. Talk about postpartum, not talk about breastfeeding. Doesn't mean every one of your clients does. Sometimes there are circumstances where we can't anymore. We're even told you are too blood deficient. You do not have enough qi, enough yang, or you're too vata gone crazy. We need to bring in the yin. These are a lot of things that our clients are dealing with, and they need us, like I talked in these sneak peeks. Please watch them. On average, they are 9 to 15 minutes. Is that if you're like me and you're a junkie for reading things, or you had your own, like, I don't want to struggle during breastfeeding and all these different, or maybe you're where I am now, perimenopause 101. If I had something like this, I wouldn't have needed to buy every book. But I was so blessed to be who I am, to keep like searching and finding people and having that ability to go and research. But still, it didn't have something like this where everything was really tight. I had to invest hours upon hours with every one of my books, with highlighters and pencil marks and pen marks, and test it out. The great thing is when we can work with somebody, there's so many things that can really change for that person. So here you have a pregnancy guide. Oh, maybe I just looked at that. And each one of them are exactly like this. And I will dive in more this coming week to have specific webinars on each one of these. But let me just see one of the questions that's being asked. So somebody's saying, do you still offer group mentoring or individual mentoring? Do you mean for my coaching or health? I think also for the Kelly, Tony, who's asking this. One, I do still work with people one-on-one. I always say first, like the basics have to be there, and also the expectations. And that's taken me a long time to understand, because I, like you, want to just be like, let's fix this. But we can't also say that, because that's making a claim. The biggest thing that I think about when I either work with somebody one-on-one or it's group is to be realistic, to understand also where you thrive, where you don't. And that's what I mean about that big P word, practice. If you're uncomfortable, and I just taught the other day at Hippocrates, and then I will close with this, and I encourage anybody who wants to get on Zoom with me, get on a phone call. Trust me, you will get on the phone with either me or you will hear from my husband, just checking with you on different things that you have, different things that you need, what's working, what's not working, is that you've got to lay the foundation first. And that means know what you offer. Why are you doing this? I said the other day when I was at Hippocrates to this woman who was very educated, had been through many different certifications, schools, experiences, retreats, coaching institutes, everything, detox schools. I said, who do you want to help? And she was like, oh, this is where I get stuck. This is what I don't like to do. And I said, I hate to break it to you. And I was trying to be, as you see, there's kind of this me that's like, because I so want this world to change. We are going into 2020 and we are sicker than we have been. I wouldn't say ever. I saw things cyclical about 5 years ago, really bad. And then things got a little better. And now we're really bad again. It's not just the US, it's in so many different areas. And you will see, not to sound a little weird, but Mother Earth is not that happy either. Fires in Australia that I saw fires that are constantly in California, tornadoes that are happening in places, and hurricanes where it never existed. Like, we are depleted on all levels. And so I said to this woman, it's our job to be really clear. Like, just tell me what you want to say. Tell me why you're doing this. Oh, you know what? I'm good. This is where I get stuck. And I said, but that's the beauty of this. We're going to unstick you. We're going to get you out of that place of not even fear, because I didn't feel that from her. I felt just overwhelm and perfectionism. I said, your why has to be so big that it brings you almost to tears. And that's how I feel like mine is. And so if you're trying to figure out what to buy, if something is working, but you want to optimize on that and get to this next level so that you are bringing in recurring, recurring income. Also think about, the different strategies that you are talking about in your business. Are they too advanced for the people that you attract? Or are you, like we talked about with Danielle, not speaking to the different stages? You might have one signature funnel that you work in your work with me, your do-it-yourself, and also in your groups. And they fit the different stages. It's called the hero journey. Feel free to Google it. It's also your buyer avatar. So you will see, if you really lay that out, these mini steps, low cost to build trust, especially if you're a new coach, especially if you're banging your head against the wall, you won't quit. It's that simple. You will also start to feel small wins and get your confidence. You will be able to say, you know what, it's okay if I don't have everything perfectly in automation, because guess what? That takes a skill set. Not all of us, myself included, and I came from a business, we didn't have websites. We were our walking funnel. And I think that's the other thing that we've stepped away from. Step back into that. Think about what your plan is. And if you don't know what to buy, we are 100% here to help you. All you have to do is drop a question, a comment at yourhealthcoachbiz.com. We will be doing specific lives on each program. I do encourage you. That's why today I shot 20 videos and I have one to go. We spend a lot of time. I do those videos 15 minutes. The 12-month content is 25 minutes. So please take a look and see if you can find out what you need. And if you don't, if you need help on structuring it, not coaching, structuring, everyone knows I will get on the phone with you. I will ask you about your story. I will get specific with you. So please, if you're on the fence, you don't know what to buy, I make myself available even on weekends when people are planning for the quarter, planning for the year. So with that being said, I'm going to go eat, breathe, drink some dandelion tea, coconut water, and all that good stuff to bring me back into balance so that we can rock it hard, plan it, not feel overwhelmed. And remember, your energy, what you have, what you've gone through is what people want. You just can't have the fear to show up and do it. So my name is Rachel Feldman. It's been a pleasure, guys. Seriously, this was off the chart awesome. I hope this gives you a different perspective, and I hope that I kept my promise to you. Talked about a lot of things, but please, if you have any questions in my free group on my website, please feel free to tag us. We do our best to answer them. You can find out everything at yourhealthcoachbiz.com. See where you need to be. We have done for you websites, done for you copywriting, done for you materials, so many different niches. Go to the shop page, click on niche, boom, you'll get there. And if you have questions, again, make a strategy session with me or reply to even the replay tonight, and I will 100% personally get back to you. It's been a pleasure, guys. I will talk to you soon. All my love. Bye.